So hey guys, in this video I will teach you the internal working of nested loops. Here I have used an example of a rectangular pattern since patterns are the best way to understand nested loops. Here I have used two loops. The outer loop is for the number of rows and the inner loop is for the number of columns. I also used two pointers. I pointer is pointing along the rows in a vertical direction and J is pointing along the columns in a horizontal direction. To understand this, I will be teaching you step-by-step procedure how the loop is working internally. Here I took an example of a rectangle which has 4 rows and 5 columns. So the outer loop is for the number of rows. We initialize the traverser for the rows by int I equals to 0 and it will move till I less than row, that is it will move till I is less than 4. Why less than 4? Because it will move from 0, 1, 2 and 3 and in each step it will be incremented by 1. The inner loop is similar to I loop, but here we have used a j iterator since we can't use I because it will result in a duplicate variable. Here also it will start from 0 and move till less than column due to it started from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and in each step it will be incremented by 1. So let us understand the step-by-step procedure. We initialize the value of I with 0 and it will check the condition over here. So 0 is less than 4. So this condition is true. So our I is initialized with 0. Now it will, since this condition is true, it will jump into the block or the body of the outer loop. Now since there is an inner loop, it will too check the condition. We initialize the value of j with 0. So j, or we can say 0, is less than 5. So this condition is true and it will jump into the body of this loop. Since this is the body of loop, it will print a star in the first row and the first column or the 0th column. So it prints a star over here. Now it will increment the value of j by 1. So j will now point over 1. Now it will again check the condition. Is j 1 or you can say 1 less than 5? So this condition is true and it will print a star again. So we print a star again. Now it will increment the value of j by 1 again. So j will now point towards 2. Now 2 is less than 5. Condition is true, print a star. So it will print a star again. Increment the value of j by 1. J now points to 3. 3 is less than 5. Condition is true, print a star. Again increment the value of j by 1. J now points to 4. 4 is less than 5. Condition is true, print a star. So we print a star over here. Now it will increment the value of j. So j will now somewhere point over 5. Now 5 is not less than 5. So this condition is false. So it will break out of this loop. Since it broke out of this loop, it will be over somewhere here. So it will print this. Now what this statement does, println creates a new line or our character moves to the new line. Suppose here. Since we wrote println, so our cursor will be pointing over somewhere here. Now this body of the ith loop has completed. It will increment the value of I again. So I becomes 1. Now it will check the condition. Is I less than row or 1 less than 4? So this condition is true and this will jump into the body of loop again. Now here we have reinitialized j equals to 0. So j will now be reset to the 0 or 0th index. Now it will again check the condition. Is 0 less than 5? Condition is true, print the star. Since we have written a println, the cursor move to the next line. So it will print the star over somewhere here. Now it will increment the value of j again. J becomes 1. Check the condition again. 1 less than 5. Condition is true, print a star. So star will be printed. Again increment the value of j. J becomes 2. 2 is less than 5. Condition is true, print a star. Increment the value of j. J becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. Condition is true, print a star. Increment the value of j. J becomes 4. 4 is less than 5. Condition is true, print a star. Now j will be incremented. So j will become somewhere over here 5. Now 5 is not less than 5. So this condition becomes false. So it will break out of this loop over here. And after that, it will print a new line again due to the presence of println over here. So our cursor will move to the next line. Now the body of I is completed again, and it will increment the value of I by 1 again. So now I becomes 2. So 2 is less than 4. Condition become true, and it will jump into the body of loop again. Again, it will reinitialize the value of j to 0. So j becomes 0 again. So 0 is less than 5. Condition is true, and we will print a star over here again. Increment the value of j by 1. J becomes 1. Print a star. It will be similar to the steps we have performed in earlier iterations. So I will complete this step and speed up this portion of the video. Now j has become 5 after this printing. So 5 is not less than 5. So this condition becomes false, and it will jump out or break out of the loop over here. Now it will again move the cursor to the next line. So cursor comes at the next line. Again, this body is completed. Increment the value of I by 1 again. So I becomes 3 now. Again, this condition is true since 3 is less than 4. So it will jump into the body of this loop again. Reinitialize the value of j to 0. So j becomes 0 again. Now 0 is less than 5. Condition is true. Print a star. So star is printed. And j will be incremented by 1. So j will now point towards 1. Now 1 is less than 5. Condition is true. Print a star. So star will be printed again. Increment the value of j. 2 is less than 5. Condition is true. Print a star. J will be incremented by 1. J becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. Condition is true. Print a star. Again, increment the value of j by 1. J now points at 4. 4 is less than 5. Condition is true. Print a star. Increment the value of j by 1. J becomes 5. 5 is not less than 5. So this condition becomes false. Break out of the loop. It will come over here. Again, print a new line, or you can say jump to the next line. So our cursor will move to the next line. And this body is completed again. Again, it will increment the value of I by 1. So I becomes 4 over somewhere here. Now since 4 is not less than 4, this condition becomes false, and this loop will break. So it will come over the cursor will come over somewhere here. So the loop have completed, and we have successfully got our pattern.